Ladies and gentlemen, he was born Mr. Dwight Duncan, a.k.a. the Bushman. He was born in 1973. He was raised in the Rastafarian culture from early stage. Ladies and gentlemen, born in Prospect Beach in St. Thomas, Jamaica. You understand me? Attending school, learning, developing all these great features as an artist. Ladies and gentlemen, we have Mr. Dwight Duncan, a.k.a. Bushman. Now listen, in Reggae Month, we decided to talk to him. Remember, I have dealt with Bushman before when I was on the other network, but this time around, Yaad Settingz on Asaase Radio is syndicated on 4 radio stations across Ghana. Arguably, we have the biggest platform in the whole of Africa. We are on 99.5 in Accra, the capital city of Ghana, 98.5 in Kumasi, 100.3 in Cape Coast, and 99.7 in the northern region, Tamale. So all the 4 corners of Ghana, everyone is listening. You understand me? And people can join us via Facebook on the Lagazee Sound International page. You see me? And then boom, when you go on X, we are live on Asaase 99.5. We're live also on TikTok as well. You see me? Now, in Reggae Month, we press the button and Bushman say, yo, Lagazee, choose a Reggae Month. I have a lot of activities and he couldn't make it. He sent that an apology video, which we spoke to the item and we showed the item that Bushman said on the 6th of April, he will be with us. People thought I was joking. You understand me? My phone, since as I started the show, people were testing me, when exactly are you having Bushman? I said, yo, people, we ain't no man. We ain't no man. Ladies and gentlemen, without much ado, let's cross over to St. Thomas and talk to Mr. Dwight Duncan, a.k.a. Bushman. Bushman!
Yeah, bless.
Yeah, man. Yo.
Yes, King.
Yes, Dad.
Ghana, Africa.
Yeah, man.
Burkina Faso.
See.
Africans liberated. Africans uniting. Africans' eyes are open. Africans uplifted. Africa await its creator, home and abroad. Rastafari. Do give thanks, King. It's a pleasure to be on the Yaad Settingz and the big bad radio station. You know what I mean? Akiwasa.
Blessed.
Rastafari. Rastafari.
In the Ghanaian language, I would say Akwaba. Akwaba means welcome, and then you will respond Yenria, means like thank you, for accepting me. You know what I mean?
Yenria.
Yes,
okay, Yenria.
Yeah, man.
Okay.
Yeah, man. So
Rastafari. I would say 4 African states: Ivory Coast, Nigeria, Kenya, and South Africa. And it was beautiful, you know what I mean? And Africa, I hope to come to Africa to settle, to really live in Africa. That is my vision. That is one of my deepest visions, to bring my family over and settle in Africa. Rastafari.
Bushman, trust me.
Africa.
Trust me. I tell you for a fact that Ghana are waiting you. You understand me? Because the government of Ghana has kind of given visa free to all Africans coming home. You understand me? So when you are coming to Ghana, it's visa free, visa on arrival. You understand me?
Right.
And now listen, the government of Ghana is also keen in terms of our diaspora, brothers who are coming in. So in terms of land and all these things, it will be provided. So you don't have to say a word. Just find a time and come through for the first time as a visit and come acquire everything,
Yes.
and then the family can follow. Like how
Yes.
I made a trip to Jamaica last year to come go through the corners and see people for the first time we've been dealing with on phone for years and all that kind of thing. You understand me? That is how
True.
Bushman have to come through and survey the area and know which part you're going to live. Are you going to go to the Volta region? Are you going to stay in Greater Accra? Are you going to the Eastern region? Are you going to the... You understand me? You come in.
Yes, sir.
Visit the places.
Definitely.
See where you can double in, and then we take it from there.
Definitely. Because I don't want you to get me wrong, you know, Jamaica is beautiful.
Definitely.
I mean, yeah, but we can't swap on continent for an island.
Definitely. You're right.
Rastafari.
And it's a fact.
But Rastafari.
Yeah, man.
Can't swap a continent for an island.
Definitely. You're right. You're right.
The
100%.
motherland is the motherland.
100%. All right.
Rastafari.
So, Bushman, we have the whole of Africa listening to you right now. And
Yes, sir.
I'd love to start from the basics. Where you were born.
True.
How, you grew up and all these things. Let us know about, yourself.
The eastern side of Jamaica is where I was born. St. Thomas, really. St. Thomas is really known for its rebellious people, people who don't stand for bull,
Mm-hmm.
As you can know, the Paul Bogle Rebellion and where it takes us,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But as a youth growing up, we love to take advantage of nature,
Mm-hmm.
the whole natural settings that are around us. So as a child growing up, I would have take the rivers, the seas, because where I live, the river meets the sea,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Mm-hmm.
So we can play from the river to the sea,
Mm-hmm.
which I think it contributes to the sounds that I get from my vocal, this rich
Mm-hmm.
baritone, as a lot of people would say.
Mm-hmm.
Would call it bushy tone, because Barry has his own tone and Bushman has his. But, the beauty of nature really can let you connect
Mm-hmm.
to the higher spirit, and through them connection and them frequency you can get to really interject, So as a youth growing up, being conscious of myself and identifying myself, drama was always a thing that I was really drawn to, really love drama, and drama comes with you reciting and singing, dancing, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But as a youth growing up, one still wants to find his or her self-purpose,
Mm-hmm.
But I remember ever since a child, I always want to be an entertainer, because my father is a Rasta man. And dominantly in our surroundings and in our household, we used to always have great reggae artists, the likes of a Peter Tosh, Bob Marley, Jacob Miller, Ep Tones, name it.
Mm-hmm.
So I grew up on listening to artists performing in the dancehall and sound system, the likes of a Super Cat, a Yellow Man, the likes of Shabba Rankin, Ninja Man, the whole energy. So wanting to be an artist has always been my vision, but finding self-purpose, I realized that myself now and my vocal has to be that vocal for 100 million people who cries out with no one to hear their plight. So there and then I becomes the voice of the voiceless.
Mm-hmm.
Social commentary
Mm-hmm.
was what I'm always about, because growing up was, at one time we thought it was povertized, but we were living rich of natural environment, natural food, natural energies and everything. I would have said were poor, but I never think it was poor. I think it was more rich when I come to this age and life and see how food is being manipulated on, and how the whole atmosphere and the whole nature and season has been manipulated. And yeah, in those days we were living quite rich.
Yeah.
So now, as a, as a youth growing up, I really graced those days. It was beauty, it was effort, it was energy. But then when Gilbert blew now, it was a transformation in the whole Jamaica and the whole settings of music and dancehall and liberty, how people live, because dancehall really came to the forefront when Gilbert blew, and being a third world country, it really took us about a year to really get back on track. But I mean, that is when I really found out that the same powers that destroy is the same powers that create.
Mm-hmm.
Because with the imbalance of heat, air, and water really cause a lot of disaster. But what really creates? Heat, air, and water really create.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
When you really check it. So the same powers that create is the same powers that destroy. With the imbalance of them powers, it really caused disaster. So when Gilbert blew, it really transformed dancehall. And because dancehall becomes that entity that really feeds the third class citizens.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
The Ancat man with his cane, the cane man at the dance gate, the peanut man, the man that sell him herbs. Because a lot of us, a lot of great scholars, ganja is what sent them to school.
Yeah.
A lot of doctors and nurses, politicians, ganja send them to school. Yeah,
Yeah.
So dancehall is a thing where really, in those days, 88, 89, 90, the likes of Buju Banton came into play, Wayne Wonder, Sanchez, the likes of Barankin, well dominant from the late 80s coming up to the early 90s. Then, Buju Banton, them coming in at the early 90s, the likes of a Sizzla Kalonji, the likes of a Capitan, likes of a Lucian and the whole energy, So, I mean, when Gilbert blew was a dominant change in music in Jamaica, but when Garnet Silk passed now, the whole vision and the views really changed again, and people come back to themselves, where just like when through Bob Marley era, when the music had so much energy that it was banned in South Africa, in places in Africa where Bob Marley's album was allowed to be played. Certain tracks were scratched off. So people can't, like Africans Unite.
Yeah.
Them tracks were really scratched off his album because, music is the greatest teacher, and then if Bob Marley sang or tell Africans to unite, by this Africans that are fully unite and stepping out there. Even though it's happening now, and we really love the transformation of everything, over the years, we have been that advocate, that voice for Africa, because Africa is our mainland, is our motherland, where we look towards Africa, for that spiritual energy, Likewise, Africa look towards us for that voice, for Africa. So each one help one. You really ask a question to speak about from then.
Of course.
I'm speaking from then till now,
Of course.
And one of the things is that if we should have looked in present days now, because I've told you I love my past, but if we look in present days now with the likes of social media, social platforms and things, I mean, Jamaica, which is the eye of the world, I think we are losing it. So my job becomes harder now, because for me, this is not just about going on stage and trying to entertain people, It's it's a role that I have to play. You know, it's a mission to accomplish, to make ones be aware, analyze their surroundings, and know that together we are powerful and apart we are very weak, you know?
You're
And
right.
a luta continual, you know?
Definitely, Bushman. Now,
Definitely.
going into the I career right now, I would like to speak about the archangel Bushman
Sure.
that you earn from the New Testament Church, of God choir, and also we'll come back to Junior Melody when you were on sound system. Now, how did you earn that name, archangel, in the church?
Well, I mean, one thing is that my singing goes for the art of people. The whole emotion, the whole frequency of my vocal, we go for the art. You know what I say? So that's how the name Archangel really came into play, You know? I was about 12. Archangel, because whenever I go out on the rostrum, as they would say in the church, or the platform in church, and start singing, the whole church would get spiritual, speaking different languages and stuff like that. So Archangel was the name. Church has been influential on most of us as entertainers, because Jamaica's history is that we have the most churches per square mile. You know? So if you ask most entertainers, especially singers, I can tell you that they will tell you that Jamaica and the churches, was quite influential. So we have a song that was a hit song. It was a folk song that says, "All me Sunday best clothes in a cursing pan, in a cursing pan, in a cursing pan. All me Sunday best clothes in a cursing pan, and the morning is so far away." So basically, our best clothes, as our prettiest clothes, would be our church clothes. Our Sunday clothes was our best set of clothes that we can ever wear in those days, because our parents would save the best clothes to wear to church. So church was that so influential that I remember as a child growing up, I used to go to school without shoes. And then when I'm going to church, I have to wear my shoes. But because in church we used to sing this tune, say, "Moses, Moses, take off your shoes, 'cause the place where thou stand is an holy ground." So I tried to convince my grandmother to let me wear my shoes to school and go to church without, because God is telling Moses to take off his shoes, because where he stands is holy. So I'm saying, if I am going to church where it's holy, then that's where I should go without shoes and go to school with my shoes. I was just trying to be smart to get my shoes to wear to school, but it wouldn't happen. It just wouldn't happen. So church was quite influential.
But I'm quite surprised that even though you are Rastaman now and all that, you still remember the past in terms of church. Remember the song them and everything.
Yes, because watch this now. Your past depicts your future, You can't live in the past, but the past is what propels you to your visions and your aspirations, which brings you to where you're at and where you want to be.
Yeah.
And if you don't know where you're going, then you have a problem in life. So you really have to remember the past, and you can't be ungrateful, because there are a lot of people when they are down, the ones that help them up, they don't really remember them. And then that is when you really have to know, say, you have to remember your past, because you have to remember the good and the bad, the wheat and the tears grow until the day of harvest. You remember that?
Mm-hmm.
Rastafari.
Aye,
So we
aye.
always view the past to depict the future, and know where we stand within the present. So it's really vivid the way how I have my past, what I say, because then being a selector now, that was when round about Gilbert now, and school was nothing to play, and music was what I am all about, and wanting to get the experience of a studio, being only having this experience of singing on the sound system with the flip side of the vinyl, playing the version, and
Mm-hmm.
you singing and emulating maybe the artist that is on the A side of the version,
Mm-hmm.
and you would emulate that artist. So then, out of curiosity now, being knowing music that well, I figured to select a sound would be a good idea, because that would take me to studio to do dub plates. And when we go to studio to do dub plates on the sound system, that is when we see the professionals working, and then you that's where I would get my experience from. So selecting on Black Star Line in those days now was where I would take the initiative to get some experience. So when you go to studio now, you would see the likes of a Lieutenant Stitchy, the likes of a Papa San, the likes of a Admiral Bailey, the likes of Sanchez, so on, doing dub plates, and it is a kind of experience that really broaden your writing, and you get to learn more. So that was really the next step in my career, to have an opportunity to go in the studio, because putting the earphone over your ears and projecting in the mic was then a different experience, as opposed to having the mic holding in your hand and just DJing from the microphone, you know. Yeah, so
Wow.
these are some experience that I own, and they make me into what I am today. I mean, like the last song you play, where you were that you say, "When will this
Over.
over?
Yeah.
When will this change?" It's really a song. Um, if you remember, Tivoli Gardens,
Yeah. I was there.
Dodos.
Yeah, Dodos. Yeah, man.
Right. So it was a situation with US coming to extradite Dodos. The Jamaican government extradite Dodos, and the US government coming for Dodos, and how many lives it cost.
Oh God.
No one paid the price. So it is a true story of how people got slaughtered. I mean, we have seen it over and over, you know, in our motherland, Africa,
Yeah.
in the so-called Middle East, which you and I know that the Middle East is where everything, the interracial, the whole energy, that
Yeah.
is where you have them other nations that come through.
Yeah, man. Yeah, man.
Israelis and the Afghanistanis. This is where Asia
Yeah.
and Africa and Europe links together. So that's where they would call it Middle East, because Turkey is just 30 minutes away from Middle East by boat,
Yeah. Yeah.
which is Africa, you know what I mean? So the whole of the Middle East, the Afghanistan, the whole of the part there, Hamas, Israel, the whole of them thing there, biblically, you'd have see from them days till now, one's just a fight for land and a fight for supremacy,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah.
And I mean, Jah created us in our own being, and one of the biggest challenges that we have is racism, racial insanity, where
Mm-hmm.
one feel like because of our color, we should be placed where they want us to, where in their parts where they want to place us. And, I mean, no matter what nation or color, if you cut anyone, one thing come out, the red substance called blood.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so the time where we waste a try to differentiate, that is why Earth is like this. You know?
Definitely.
But there's not gonna be a day when you'd have tranquil peace, you know, because I mean the wicked man thrives because so the good have a job to do. You
Yeah,
know what I
man.
mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's because if there's no wickedness, then the good man goes to rest and sleeps well.
All
But
right.
if the evil man is out there on a rampage, then there's no rest for the righteous,
Of
because the
course.
wicked sleeps not.
Of course. You're right.
Rastafari.
I.
So true.
But I would like to find out this from Bushman. Your songs are basically social commentary songs. A lot
Most
of
definitely.
them, you know, like, so I can comfortably call you social commentator. And when you sing about some of these things, you don't get the forward from the people. You understand me?
No, you don't really get the forward. But then do remember, good things come in small parcels. So like for me, like at times when I trot out there, I always consider who comes to listen Bushman is my ardent fans. They know what they come for and they
Of
know what
course.
I am about. So if there's a large crowd, they know what I am about. And if it's a small crowd, they also know. So I always deliver the message the same way I would deliver. If there's one person or a million person, it's the same delivery because I am what I am about. You know what I say?
100%.
And yes, I'm being conscious, being self-conscious and self-aware. We are going to pursue it according to how we see it, you know? So
Definitely.
as I said before, being the voice of 100 million people who cries out with no one to hear them plight, I ain't got no time to lose or time to waste my self-consciousness,
You
my self-awareness, you know?
definitely. Now,
Rastafari.
let me go back a bit on the sound system culture, era, with you as
Rastafari.
a selector, and also when you start cutting dub plate for other sound systems. Now, can you tell us the first ever sound system you ever recorded a dub plate for or cut a dub plate for?
Mellow Construction.
Mellow Construction.
Yeah, that was the Eastern champion in St. Thomas. Mellow Construction was that sound where after the era of Aces International and King Majesty and Jalove and them sound system, because St. Thomas was the capital of dancehall during the age of King Yellowman, because Aces International is King Yellowman's sound, and that's a St. Thomas sound. Fathead, Sammy Joe, the whole of them, Super Cat, you know what I mean? Lick Larry, the whole work. So, I mean, then when sound clash thing now becomes that dub plate energy, Mellow Construction was the ruling sound, which most of the sounds roundabout would come to St. Thomas to come kill Mellow Construction, to take Mellow Construction throne, which it wouldn't happen. One Man Against the World was one of the bad dub plate. Gregory Isaac. One man against the world. One man against the world was one big dub plate where any sound first play that dub plate, the rest of sounds in trouble. Mellow Construction have that as an anthem.
Wow.
But my first dub plate was a song called Superwoman. Early in the morning, I put dub plates on turntable and make sure that my sound is playing so sweet. My dubs are cut so freely, ready to kill sound, So that was the first dub plate I did for Mellow Construction, Superwoman. Below construction, kill them sound. You know, I'm not no Superman. Yeah, some kind of thing like that. But that
Wow.
was my first dub plate. Mellow construction sound. St. Thomas. So yeah, vividly I can remember. Then the smaller sounds now, like Dr. Sod and Family Man and them sounds, well, was the follow-up sound. But if you should ask me the first big sound that I did a dub plate for, it was Metro Media.
Metro Media.
Metro Media, Peter Metro's sound.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
And it was rinse and shot and head. No need to bowl, no need to beg. Gangsters no see the lead. Yes, Rasta. Another skull bus, mother receive another gunman dead. Yes, Rasta.
Wow. 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 Wow.
Somebody call yours, cause the body's getting stink. It needs to leave the turf. Yes, Rasta. Yes, Rasta.
I have seen a lot of sound systems destroy other sound systems with this particular chord of hers. And trust me,
man.
I stay back and watch and I'm like, boy.
Yes, Rasta.
No.
So, you know, and that is the beauty about my music. And, you know, our music, people can relate to it otherwise. So it's like it's timeless.
Yeah.
You can't really put no time on my music. So, our next project that we're working on now, that's the name of our next project.
Mm-hmm.
Timeless, you know.
Timeless.
But Conquering Lion is this now album that was released sometime round about before the pandemic. So we never get the chance to really get out there behind the album and push the album. So Conquering Lion now is really my little baby that I'm still nurturing, you know, because there's so many message in that data. I would call it data or envelope or folder. You know, on your computer you would create a folder and you would stash stuff in it. Think of Conquering Lion album as that folder with some soul food.
Seriously.
You know, for the brain, you know.
Seriously.
Because, you know, you have belly food and you have brain food.
Of course.
People just deal with belly food, you know. But Conquering Lion is a brain food.
Brain
so I
food.
urge people to go and check out Conquering Lion, brain food.
Wow.
Most definitely.
Ladies and gentlemen, 49 going into the R2 here on Asaase Radio, the voice of our land. Before, you know, we said that we're going to activate the phone lines for people to call in and talk to Bushman. My producer is here.
Definitely.
Yeah, man. He would also want to ask a question. But before that, before we step into that, you understand me? Talking about sound system now. Watching or seeing a lot of sound systems, you know, destroying other sound systems with Bushman dub plate. I sometimes fold my arms, you understand me? Especially Bass Asaase, I think Sound for Dead, I forgot the year, in Amazura, the introduction and the playing of the dub and how the whole thing went. I am like, geez and peas. What this? Wow.
Crazy.
Yeah, man. And then again,
yes,
I am wondering, because sound system culture is picking up in Africa right now. Last year I was in Jamaica myself. I went to Dancer Thursdays, went into Sound Clash with my little sound system from Ghana, Lagazee Sound International, enter into a clash with Super Gold and also Playmaker from Jamaica, and we sent them home guilty as charged, and we took the trophy. You understand me?
Mad.
So, again,
I know Super Gold, King.
You don't see it. All right. So
Super Gold. All right. So guess what now, King?
Yeah.
Let me just, all right. So, King, anything possible when it comes to, because when it comes to sound system, you have to love that and you have to be real.
Of course.
And then you have some sound man, when they're cutting dub plates, the energy is not right. So sometimes they don't get the dub plate in the right energy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because if you give the artist that bad vibe, the chances are you're not going to get the dub plate with that feel
Yeah.
that the artists regularly do it in. So you have to really make the artist feel
All right.
relax.
Yes.
Rastafari.
Aye. So,
True.
so now I am wondering how do you artists in Jamaica support your sound systems to be able to get large number of dub plates from you to go on international scenes for clash? I am still wondering about this whole thing because I have been thinking that, you know, a lot of artists from Africa don't still know the dub plate culture yet. And we are still giving them the education almost day in and day out. But great man as you are as Bushman, you know, sound systems using your dub plate to destroy other sound systems. How do you support your sound systems in that particular manner? And if I may ask, because Lagazee is a big selector in Ghana, may own electric sound by name Lagazee Sound International. How do I get Bushman to represent me? And how would Bushman say, all right, Lagazee is me selector in Ghana, and anything Lagazee want, me I take care of Lagazee with him sound system. And Lagazee, listen to me, man. Now Bushman, depend your sound now. So anything Bushman, you have to go push it hard. How would that work?
Yeah, it starts with the way how the relationship and the communication really goes, you know what I mean? Because, I mean, great relationships create great energies, and great energy always leave historical landmarks, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So there
Easy.
the sound and the sound man interact with the artist, as I would say before. You know, you have to make the artist feel comfortable within himself and his state of mind. You have to feel great for one to talk to you. You have to feel great for one to sing for you. You have to feel great to be around you. You know, so the whole relationship, the whole communication has to be great, and that is how you have an artist who just sing freely for you without him thinking twice, you know.
All right.
Because each one hand wash the other.
Definitely.
You know, one countenance brightens the other.
Of course.
It doesn't work on a one-sided basis. It works vice versa. That's how it really makes everything smooth. You know what I mean?
All right.
Most definitely.
All right. Before the people them coming with their questions and all that, now let's talk about the first, you know, single out of the upcoming album, Timeless, Wind Down. Talk to me about that, Bushman.
Well, Wind Down really is a song that motivates one if you listen to the lyrical content. But then TikTok was one of the inspirations from that song because it speaks of time, and TikTok is really a platform where it's really showing you that you can't just take up your phone and scroll and waste time, because a lot of money can be made from TikTok. But then if you are just the fly and not the spider, because this is a network, you know. And within the network, if the fly get caught, the spider will eat the fly. So on this network, you have to decide if you are the spider or the fly. You understand? So a lot of people just take up them phone and all them do on them phone and just sit down and scroll and waste time. So Wind Down now is really literally telling you not to sit down and waste time. You know, all when do you wanna wind down? Never tell yourself say that your time done. How you spread your bed, that's how you lie down. So in Jamaica, I would say, if you spread your bed hard, you lay down hard. If you spread your bread soft, you lay down soft. So it's what you put in, you take out, in other words. How you approach life, how hard you work, how smart you work towards your visions. That's how them transform and come to.
Easy.
56 going into the hour, you know, on Yaad Settingz on Asaase Radio. We're having one-on-one with Bushman. Yeah, man. And yeah, man. I can hear you good now. You understand me? You know, please, the people, them allow Bushman. He's on interview right now. Yeah, man. Allow Bushman to flow. He's on interview now. So please, after the interview, you can call in. Yeah, man, Bushman, I can hear you loud. You can hear me good?
Easy.
Ladies and gentlemen, we're talking to Bushman on Yaad Settingz on Asaase Radio. My name is King Lagazee.
Yo. Guess what?
Wind down.
Good God.
Yeah, man.
Bless.
You can hear me? Bushman, you can hear me? Hello? Bushman, you can hear me? Me can hear you good. You can hear me?
Yo. Guess what? Good God. Randy. Say. Try call.
You can hear me good? All right.
Hey, you got to believe it. Hey, I'll win you wanna wind down. Give her till you see that your time done. I always spread your beat, that's where you lie down. The moves of opportunity when time comes. There's nothing in a life that's amazing. Only heap things in my life will no please me. I change the ones that can change and the ones that can't change. But I slip and take them off of my brains. So the things stay. Every dog got their day. And every man's got their way. So when your chance come, don't play. No way. So the things stay. Every dog got their day. And every man's got their way. So when your chance come, don't play. No way. My bun back angle and a rub up blue island. No stop from sprinkle them powder. Me bout me two and fall over and them think it's all over. But me get up and me just start over. Only if a friend me have no for them let me down. Do a lot of things and try to get me down. But only King Jafar and keep me safe and sound. Them coulda never take me big clown. I saw the things stay. Every dog got their day. And every man's got their ways. So when the change come, don't play. No way. So the things stay. Every dog got their day. And every man's got their ways. So when the change come, don't play. No way. You must never give up, no way. You must never give up, no. You must never give up, no way. You must never give up, no. I will do sick and sticky. I no food no inna the kitchen.
Yeah, man, blessed. So this is Wind Down, the first single out of the album, the upcoming album Timeless, from Mr. Dwight Duncan, aka Bushman. Remember, we will be checking him out every now and then to make sure that we get the right timing when the album will come out. And also we can do, an album premiere over here on our network. Let's go online once again and talk to Bushman. Bushman!
Yeah, we're there. Nah, left for people flat-footed.
Definitely.
Yeah, man. So, so that was a technical difficulty. The phone got, cause King, I have been on the road from the last 2 days and my car decided to stop in the parish next to me. So I've been getting a lot of calls since then, since I've been doing the interview to check up about the car,
Yeah.
But I can't answer those calls while I'm doing the interview. So
of course.
Them have to know say that now go happen.
Of course.
It is, but it just interrupt the whole energy. But
definitely.
It's all about Africa, Ghana.
Definitely.
People,
definitely.
Rastafari, so
I.
On the back burner for now.
All right. No.
Rastafari. So it's all about wind down.
Yeah.
Yeah, we finish. We have 2 more songs to finish mix now and master. We're getting the artwork up. We haven't gotten a release date yet, but we really want to even get involved in, I think the beat is called Piano. We soon send it come here to you, King.
All right.
We want to premiere it for the summer too, you know?
Okay.
A song and an Afro piano.
Okay. All right.
There you go. Oh, oh, oh. It's a song that's just speaking of Mother Earth, Black African women who just stand out without make, because you know a lot of women feel like makeup makes them greater, but over a period of time it really damages the structure of the skin. You know, so that song just speaks of a Black African queen that's so natural, you know, no makeups, no additives, just naturally beautiful, you know.
Yeah.
No face polish or nothing. And she stands out because she's a go-getter and she's always steady on her and focused on her visions and aspirations, you know, and go get what all her goals, she stay focused on them and go get them, you know. And that's why it's called There You Go. There you go, oh, 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 oh. To be honest, me I tell you, you're flawless. Every step that you take, a red carpet. Stand out in any crowd, cause you're God bless. Them can't stop you regardless. Most likely, would I really let the puss out of the bag. There you go. Afro piano. Look out for it, King. The first hour premiere.
I can't wait. I can't wait for this.
For real.
Yeah, but so when exactly should we expect, you know, the Timeless album, like in full effect? You can hear me good?
Yeah.
All right. So I am asking, when should we expect the Timeless album in full effect?
As I said now, I think it's sometime around that. We don't have the release date yet because I really want to release it sometime in May. We don't have a release date yet, King, because we don't want to release it prematurely. You know, we really want a proper marketing plan and strategy around it.
Okay.
You know?
Okay.
And King Lagazee have to be in a strategic plan there.
Of course.
You know?
Of
because
course.
you don't know your platform is dominant in our diaspora, which is Africa, King. So we have to work with the king.
Definitely.
The king of the king.
You don't see it.
One king Lagazee.
You don't see it.
Bang, bang.
Yeah, man. So everything is everything. My producer says we should open the phone lines for for a minute so that people can also call in. But before that, let me invite my producer Naro Bauer in. But let me activate the phone line, you know, first for the people to know the lines we are dealing with. In case you want to talk to Bushman, we are pressed with time, so please you do it quick. When you call in, your name, where you calling from, and then you can ask your questions. You understand me? And please don't talk too long. You understand me? Just make it simple. Sure. You see me? So it's 0548 888 995 or 0200 009 951. If you are calling outside Ghana, prefix with the area code +233 and you're good, you can talk to us. So if you want to talk to, you know, the Bushman Naya man, trust me, the baritone voice man, you know, you're free to do that. But before then, Naro Bauer, you said you had a question for Bushman. So the floor is yours.
Greetings to the Naya man.
Big up the producer. You're doing a great job, my
I
brother.
love. No, I have a question. Just for clarity's sake. For your listeners, you have almost about millions of listeners listening to the Eye across Africa and the world. For 2 decades, the Eye were talking with Natty King, and I them reconciled 3 years ago. You know,
Yes,
for clarity's sake,
it was on a platform called Teach Them, right?
True. Was that reconciliation with Natty King just for the cameras, or was for truly from the Eye heart? And if that's the case, when are we expecting a collaboration with the Eye and Natty King to solidify your reconciliation with him?
Yeah, well, you know, one of the things is that I have my studio at home. And at times when I reach out to him, is either I'm there in Europe or it would be elsewhere. So what we're trying to do now is to create, because we want to be on the same page. So we want to create a rhythm, like build a rhythm, and then the topic. So which one of we first would have come with a topic? And he hasn't come with a topic yet. I guess he's waiting on me to come with that topic, and then I guess we haven't really said who would write or whatever. So we're not come to that decision yet. But it's really from my heart. And, you know, we no hold grudge. Them thing that hold you back. We no hold grudge and them thing that, but truly, I'm a man of right, and we just speak from our heart. If the thing not right, we just speak that, and, you know, truth now have no friend, you know.
True.
You know, so man just speak from the heart, just like how I would say I am the voice for 100 million people who cries out with no one to really hear. So I have been bashed for just speaking out, you know, if you notice how blatant I speak within my music. Blood out, red out of Babylon, cause them a move too girly. Me want them once, and me want them twice. See if we stop preach Jesus Christ, and Michelangelo, me tell them again, and them still a pretend. Man, I heal up, still a Black King. You see it? And we're outspoken, and, you know, sometimes we might step on a couple toes in high places. Well, who cares? Truth has no friend.
You see, give thanks for the clarity. And my last question is a quick one. We are running out of time. The Eye started with the name Junior Melody.
Junior Melody.
True. And
because Courtney Melody, Mikey Melody, Singing Melody, all of them melody influential in my career. So Junior Melody was that name that I was running with, but my producers thought, too much melody was in the business. So they gave me this name Bushman, which I never liked. I thought it was a pretty way to call me a country boy. you know. So really and truly though, I did some research on the name, found that the Aborigines in Australia is also called the Bushman. And in West Africa, Bushman is a medicine man. So this is when the musical medicine man, Naya man, Bushman, the musical medicine man. So when the debut album came out, it was my bio, Bushman, the musical medicine man. So it was Naya man, the bingy man, a chant, chant. Hey, the Rasta man, the bingy man, a chant, chant. Cause too much rude boy, they are road. See the prison them overload. Naya man, the bingy man, you know, Rastafari. Being true to everything.
Yes. So last one. What's the connection between the Eye and Peter Tosh musically?
Yeah, it was like Peter played that intricate role in shaping my career, because I assure you my dad dominantly used to play them kind of music in my household. But then the name Bushman come like it was ordained, you know. I remember Lighthouse came to me, which was the first song that wasn't penned by myself. It was written by the producer and sent to me with a musical composition also. But that musical composition was speaking to me like Peter with that heavy metal guitar in it. So I was, when the storms of life surround me, and from waves threaten to drown me. Jah, shine his light out for me. You know, and yeah, the whole energy was like a Peter Tosh energy, and people
Yeah.
keep on saying the song sound like Peter. So here and then we just do Bushman sings the Bush Doctor, which was a tribute to Peter Tosh, you know, because Peter played that role roundabout shaping my career also.
But
Rastafari.
the Bushman sings Peter Tosh on that particular tribute songs. I have never seen you doing any dub on that before.
Yeah, man, we do Stepping Razor, a couple songs would request it. And you know that bad sound from Africa, which this virgin called African plays that sound, you know?
Is it
Yeah,
dynamic?
so I did Don't care where you come from, as long as you're a black man, you're an African. You know, we did that dub style.
Yeah.
And brand new second hand also is the next dub plate we do. You sound a brand new second hand. Yeah. So King, we are gonna make you get some stuff, man. We are gonna do some dub plate. Send over to Peter Touch dub plate. Come here, man. And make it thing right, man. We are the King Lagazee. One king in
Now, listen.
that we are talking about.
Listen, I can decide not to pick any call again from hearing this info from the Bushman. He said, Lagazee sound, don't get weary. We are doing a thing, can't give you. Lagazee, you worry too much. What that, Lagazee? Cool down.
Yeah, man. Sure worries, man.
Yeah, man. All right.
Worries are a problem, we say, you know.
Definitely. Let me go.
Worries and problems.
Let me go on the phone lines now. People, you can call in now and talk to the Nayaman Bushman. As I said, when you call in, make it snappy. Let's go on the phone lines now. Hello. Sorry about that. Hello. God, the phone line hot like lava. So it's 0548 888 995. MTN users 0548 888 995 and also 0200 009 951. These are the lines if you call and talk to the Nayaman Bushman. You understand? My producer says, Lagazee, pick 2 or 3 calls, you understand me, and let's talk to the people. Now, let me go and read some comments on Facebook. Before then, let me pick someone on the line. Hello?
Yeah, King Lagazee, Service Star Platoon General. This Yaovi calling from Muscle, the Volta region.
Yaovi?
Yes, sir.
We have Bushman. Talk to Bushman.
Yeah, Bushman, greetings. And always
Greetings, brother.
Good work. But I want to know whether if you go to the studio whereby the engineer gives you the beats, you come home, you rehearse, you go back to the booth and you record. Because you realize these days you just sit anywhere with your phone, they do recording. And number 2, I want to know when during the singing if you put patois into consideration because the song is going wildward. I want to know whether you put patois into consideration while you sing. Give thanks. Lagazee, more life and strength. This Yaovi from the Northern District of the Volta region. Bless.
All right, respect. So,
Lagazee, explain.
Yeah. Okay, so he said he's calling from the Volta region and he said he would like to find out that if you used to go to the studio to go for producers to give you rhythms for you to come home, to come sit down and write. And also, do you put patois into consideration whilst putting pen to paper to write your lyrics?
It's never in the thought, patois or whatever. It's just the way how the musical interlude really speaks to you. You really deliver. Well, for me, you know, sometimes it speaks to me, which I would really want to keep it in that English grammar. Mm-hmm. And then there's a next time when you're really getting radical where you just want to keep it raw, patois. Opposed to rhythms getting to me in this new age of technology, we don't really have to go to a producer's studio or whatever. They would email or WhatsApp that to you, and then I would just eardrop that to my studio. You know, I can sit down and then maybe pen a vibe from my WhatsApp by listening to rhythm, maybe on a Bluetooth box, one of them Bluetooth box, and you know, whatever the rhythm shows at me, then I speak. I that's where I start create. Sometimes, you know, we don't really put pen to paper. Man would just get a punchline and maybe the first verse and just go inside and record that. And then when we record that, we would listen that and then start creating a second verse, you know? My creativity comes like, I would think of the rhythm as that empty canvas. And then I myself would start painting. Bring my visions to reality. So I see the rhythm as that empty canvas. And then my vocal and my lyrical content would come and paint that picture, you know, to send that message to whoever or wherever. That's how I see music, you know.
All right.
It's an artwork.
All right. Let's go on the line once again and pick some callers. Hello.
Yo, hello.
What is...
King Lagazee.
Yeah, man, blessed. What is your name? Where are you calling from?
Greetings, my lord. This is original Rascot. You don't know, representing live. Asaase Radio, the voice of our land. Don't know.
Respect.
Every time, dada. Yeah, man. Let me say, large up, Bushman.
Yes, Rastafari. Give thanks.
We love your work. You don't know. Your voice alone. You know. Yeah. See me. Original, you know, strictly, Father. You know what I mean? So keep on chanting us, not man, about Rastafari.
Give thanks to the support, Rasta. One countenance bright than the others.
Yeah, man. Respect. All right,
each one, reach
Blessed.
one. Rasta.
Yo, the phone line hot like pepper. Hot like lava. Yo, so please take your time. Hello.
One King Lagazee.
Yeah, man, respect. Hello. Please, when you call in, lower the volume on your radio set. When you call in, lower the volume on your radio set. Stay away and then listen to the phone.
That feedback.
Yeah, man. Hello. Hello. Yo, too much feedback, man.
Easy.
The other day I was telling the man about about feedback, and the man said, "No, Lagazee, we don't deal with back. It's feed forward, man. Don't say that, man.
Feed forward." Yeah, because it's a concept, you know.
Yeah, man.
I mean, I see this virgin came on a social platform. I think it was IG, and he was explaining how important words that we use are. And then he says, yo, when you use words, you know, do you know that you cast spells? Because you got to spell the word, right?
Yeah.
So, you know, you cast spells using these words. So we use up full words like a man would have said enjoy, and I would have said full joy as Rastas.
Yeah.
We just say full joy instead of enjoy, you know. Because we don't want to end the joy. We want to joy it to the fullest. So we just say full joy, you know what I mean? I want to just say you and I say I. Because we don't want bend, we want to stay straight. So instead of one say you, a man say just say I and I. It's right.
We get it.
So I just keeping it up full, you know. So instead of we say backward, we just say forward. Ever and backward never. You know, Jacob Miller said that.
Definitely.
Forward ever and a backward never, backward never, backward. So you know.
Yeah, man. Let's go on the lines and pick up a caller. Hello. Sorry about that. Hello.
Hello.
What is the name? Where are you calling from?
Yeah, man. This is the reggae ambassador, P. God, back from Ashanti region.
From Ashanti region.
Yes, my lord. P. God.
All right. P. God, talk to me. We have Bushman from St. Thomas on the other side of the line.
They are just listening to the interview and he said massive, you know. And to Bushman, we say him have a unique voice still. You should continue with the good work still, yeah?
Yeah, man.
Eva thanks, man. Reggae ambassador.
You know, see.
Eva thanks, man.
Yeah, man.
Rastafari.
Every time, bless that.
Far and wide. Do give thanks, Rasta.
Yeah, man. So from Greater Accra region to the Ashanti region, meaning that he's listening to 98.5 in Ashanti region. You understand me?
Ashanti region.
And
yeah,
from,
I wanted to remember.
Yeah,
that.
man. From Accra to Ashanti region is almost 4 to 5 hours drive. So if you know how the road is, yeah, man. Next month on the line.
That.
Yeah, man. Hello. Yo, too much feet forward, man. Yo. Hello. Bless. Oh, all right. Oh, God. Hello. Hello. Bless. Yo, you know, the feed forward is too much.
Yeah, you got it locked to
the
original King Lagazee.
Yeah, man. Hello.
Yankee Punky Asaase radio.
You don't see it.
Keep it locked. Yeah. Yankee Punky Asaase radio. Yeah, we keep it locked. Africa, the voice of Africa, the whole platform of Africa.
Yeah, man. Bless.
Yankee Punky.
Yo.
Easy.
Is it because everybody want to call in, so the line kind of jump? You understand me? So yo, I want the item to take them time and call in. You understand me? Because we like to pick like 2 or 3 more calls and then we end with this. You understand me? Hello. So it's 020-548 888 995 for MTN users. Telecel users is 0200 009 951. Hello. 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 Oh. Can't yo.
Easy.
Technician, check up the line for me. Check up the line for me.
Check up the line.
Oh. Too much feet forward. Lower the volume on your radio set when you call in. Lower the volume on your radio set. You understand me? Yeah, man. Lower the volume on your radio set. Hello? Yeah. What is your name? Where are you calling from?
Yeah, this is you working in that perspective. Can I speak to the Bushman, Dada?
Yeah. What is your name?
This is you work international in full effect.
From where?
From Castle City.
Okay. All right. We have the Nyaman Bushman.
Yeah, the Bush done, Dada.
What go on, brother?
It's a cool running, man. What a going big yes.
All is well.
There's something I'd like to know. Your point of view on the war in Palestine. What your stand? The way Israel and America murdering people then. How do you feel about it?
Well, watch this now. A lot of people don't really get biblical, but there is a one chapter about Hamas. It's called Hamas in the New Testament. You can go and read that chapter there. It is called Hamas, yeah? So you see what is transpiring in Middle East today is a fulfillment. People see it because it's a kind of ethnic cleansing and they want to move some people from one part so them can do business. And they've been doing it over the years. How much Africans have been through transatlantic slavery. A whole generation of our people cries from the bottom of the oceans and the Caribbean seas. A whole heap of mothers have been chained and thrown overboard because man are run low upon food. From ships and sails and shackles and chains, dogs and whips, and shackles and chains, rows of cans and chopping of cane, racism, fascism, and washing of brain. 9 to 5 on the grind, sleepless night overtime, working hard as indentured slaves in a world where the odds are against us. Rastafari. So one just have to be aware and see what is happening. Africa awaits its creator. but Africa is also uniting. And this is where a lot of people are getting scared. A lot of countries are getting despaired. Because when Africa unites, the West suffers.
Of course. You're right.
And this is what is happening right now.
All right. Ladies and gentlemen, we can't pick the call again, please. Empress Debbie, we can't pick the call again. We have to end the conversation with the Nayaman Bushman. Singing goal, Jamaican reggae artist based in Germany says, mad interview up Bushman. Junior Maestro from Norway, far away, says, Bushman have a deeper meaning. All right. Aita Bingi says, but watch out now. Bushman must cut a wicked dot plate for Lagazee Sound International. All right. It's already done.
Most definitely.
Yeah, man. The man just
already.
Yeah,
Call
man.
it.
Yeah, man. And then also Aita Bingi says, you are indeed a social commentator for true. You understand me? And then he said again,
most definitely.
He said the bushy tone is it, Aya. Car you rightfully said barrier. Have him own tone, saying, all right.
Yes, sir. Barry have him own tone, so it's a bushy tone.
It's a bushy tone.
Yes,
yeah,
sir.
Man. But I like that, you understand me? Listen, a lot of people are listening keenly. Ja alone, Kojo Scribe says, Martin. Aita Bingi says, Africa unity is a must. Now, a man want to know, he said, how many albums have Bushman?
11 to be exact. Yeah, with live in Paris and live in Accra House, 2 live albums. 11 to be.
All right. All right. So
Conquering Lion would be the 11th album.
Conquering Lion will be the 11th album. And the 12th one is in the making. That is Timeless. Soon to be released.
Timeless. Soon to be released.
You know, soon to be released. There. And listen, Afro Piano 2 is coming. And we are waiting patiently for that. And I can't wait to release it over here, so. You know, see?
Over there. Right, yes, sir. One king.
Yeah, but all right.
One king.
All right, Bushman, before I leave you finally, because I know you're on the road, your car and all this, and people are calling you here.
Yes,
there.
Man.
You know, before I leave you finally, what message do you have for the whole of Africa listening to you right now?
As I say, everything starts individually, self-awareness, self-value. When you are aware of yourself and you're conscious about yourself, then you have a value to yourself, and self-awareness and self-value. It creates a great self-esteem, being conscious of yourself. And self-esteem really brings great self-confidence. And Marcus has reminded us that with confidence, you win before you even start, Mm-hmm. So we have to just start with some self-love, self-awareness. Everything starts with self, So if everyone learn to love themselves, then love would go straight across the board. It starts with us. One love, one King Lagazee, one Ghana, one Africa, Rastafari.
Aye. And finally, before I leave the Nayaman Bushman, there is one song that I truly love, that I would love you to touch on it a bit for me. That is Downtown. You understand me?
Downtown.
Yeah, man. And also your love, because today, tomorrow is the Queen's Strong Empress, my producer Empress Debbie's, Strong.
Mm-hmm.
I would love you to sing your love for her for us.
Your love, sitting through every beat of my heart. That's why I hope you and I'll never part. Your love, sitting through every beat of my heart. Will, every beat of my heart.
All right.
Downtown, I love when rain a fall. Uptown, flood out. 8 million them spend on Hope Road. And the traffic block up. Same way. One love.
Every
it's
time.
Asaase Radio.
Yeah, man.
Voice of